Pests beware, your fields have heroes. The Pests and Predators podcast is brought to you by Field Heroes and is powered by the Western Grains Research Foundation. Learn how beneficial insects fight pests and protect your crops. Visit fieldheroes.ca today.
Shaun Haney here with RealAgriculture.com and Real Ag Radio, Rural Radio 147, Sirius XM, and right now we're in the Clean Fuels Alliance booth and joined right now by Greg Anderson, Farms in Nebraska. Greg, how are we doing?
Hey, doing great. Good to see you.
You're also a member of the Nebraska Soybean Board as well.
I am.
So you're locked in then right now on what's happening in the whole biofuel market.
Yeah.
There's always biofuel issues to fight over in the U.S., but one thing stays consistent. Biofuels are critical for the U.S. farmer.
Yeah.
So talk about from your personal perspective.
Absolutely critical, Shaun. When you think about the value of each bushel of soybeans, biofuels, that is biodiesel and renewable diesel, make up about 10 to 13% of the net value per bushel. So if we're looking at, say, a $10 bushel of soybeans, $1 to $1.30 of that value is attributed to biofuels. So very critical, very important to keep this going. And we're asking EPA to look at their RVO numbers because of this. We're asking for 5.25 billion gallons in the year 2026. So we have a little tagline, 5.25 in 5 of 25. That's what we're asking for.
Sounds good to me.
And it's working, I think, because it just makes a lot of sense. We have the production capacity to do this. With biodiesel, 2 billion gallons production capacity, renewable diesel, about 4.5 billion gallon production capacity. And just last year, American consumers used 5.1 billion gallons of these fuels. So we have that. We also have the feedstock to serve this. We have soybean oil, which continues to make up about half of the feedstocks for these fuels. We have distillers corn oil. We have canola oil. We can't forget animal fats. And all of these combined are really, really important to serve this industry.
And there's a big domestic need, right? And so another part of this strategy, of course, is diversification away from being so reliant on exports to China.
Absolutely. Yes. With headwinds of, global trade issues hindering our exports, it makes sense to, let's use more domestic. Let's crush more, which we sent a signal that in the next 2 years, we're expanding U.S. crush by 30%. Now, what that's going to do is looking at 20 different crushing facilities that are brand new, that are in 10 different states, that are going to spin off another 1 billion gallons of fuel when that's refined. So that is going to serve us well. Plus, you think about all that soybean meal coming off of those crushing plants, we can grow our domestic livestock industry even more and export, valued cuts, or we can export soybean meal, which is also value added. So it makes a lot of sense, and it helps, mitigate that gap between exporting maybe less whole soybeans.
So what's the gap? We've got companies willing to invest. I talked to NOPA. They've got members that are investing.
Yep.
Farmers can definitely produce the feedstock. Is it the RVO amounts that's really the gap here?
RVO is so critical to this. It's probably the flagship component of really where we want to go and what we can do. So you think about this. In 2024, EPA had set that 2024 level at just over 3 billion gallons. Well, we've doubled our production just in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And and we're on a really strong, advanced, accelerated climb here. In 2024, we used over 1 billion pounds of soybean oil per month.
Wow.
In the production of these fuels, and we could use more. We're already serving the food industry very well. They're getting all the soybean oil that they need. But that's why this added crush is coming on, because we see this investment of over $6 billion of the soybean industry putting in so that we can, use more beans domestically and just convert that into fuel, which will serve us very well in the future.
Renewable diesel and SAF, through the winter meeting season, you go to lots of meetings yourself, work in the farm policy angles, and there's not a meeting every meeting has somebody talking about SAF and renewable diesel. It's kind of an exciting time if all this lines up properly.
It does. You think about the SAF, for example, and the amount of volume that we're talking about is just incredible. And then we're also looking at added new markets such as rail, marine, that are really growing. The heating oil industry in the northeastern part of the United States is really taking off big time, serving about 500,000 customers who are using B20. That's a biodiesel blend of 20% in their mixing with their home heating oil, petroleum diesel. So, it's an incredible market. I think we're on the cusp of really something that's going to be really big. And we're showing that the American farmer has this feedstock that is so vital to move, because if we don't use it in these fuels, where's that going to go? And it affects our bottom line.
Are you concerned at all? Like SAF, it's an acronym for Sustainable Aviation Fuel. Are you concerned that the administration may not see the nuance in all of this and see sustainable aviation fuel and maybe make a decision on it that's working against the policy?
I don't think so. I think globally, SAF is here to stay. Especially Europe is taking the lead on that. They have some regulations and things that, hey, if you're going to land here by the year whatever, you're going to have to prove yourself sustainable, and a certain portion of your fuel has to be SAF. And we can certainly make that. We have the production that can ramp up even more to do that using ag feedstocks that we have an abundance of. So I think the administration is friendly towards these things because of their domestic direction.
Demand creation. I mean, you just think about it. It creates thousands and thousands of good-paying jobs. It creates economic opportunities in rural America, which we long for. We want to keep our brain trust of these young people who are graduating college come back to the farm because there's just a future here. Yeah. And I think that the administration understands that and wants to serve that. And export opportunities as well.
Absolutely. Export opportunities that are there in abundance. We look at export of even soybean oil in the past 6 months. It was up. It ticked up because of fuel. That's the demand. And
Greg, all the best to you this year with your 2025 crop. And what are the conditions in Nebraska?
Right now, planting is going gangbusters. I mean, everybody's getting in. We're way ahead of schedule. The crop is going in good shape. The soil conditions are great to plant in. We are in various forms of drought throughout the whole state, though. We're in either moderate drought to severe drought. The Panhandle, where the cattle and the grass is, exceptional drought. So everybody needs a rain. We have a burn ban on. Can't burn until May 10th or maybe after. So those are some considerations. We're going to need timely rains throughout the growing season to make a really good crop.
Need Mother Nature to cooperate. Just seems like every other year.
Every other year.
Greg, it's been great to chat with you. Congratulations on all your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you, Shaun.